What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Dr. Vince presents. I am your host, Dr. Vince Leone. Whoa, imagine that. Hey, this is episode 32, how to stay motivated in practice. I mean, you probably never had this issue, right? Come on, man, we've all had this issue. So we're gonna go ahead and get into some tactics and strategies today to help you out in that regard. But before we do that, go ahead and hit subscribe so you get notified of all new shows. Also, I got a free new training. Did you hear about this? It is the 5 Practice Profit Accelerators. Go ahead and check that out at chiropracticconsulting.co. Okay, you ready? Let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay guys, let's get into the material this week, how to stay motivated in practice, of course. So, let's first start out by writing down our goals every morning, okay? And then we review them every night. And so what this does is it just keeps the carrot in front of our face, okay? So we want to, first of all, well, hopefully you have goals, right? So that would be step number one. We always have to have a target. Whatever we're gonna do, if we want to achieve something, we got to have a target. So, but I recommend, hey, writing them down every morning and then reviewing them before you go to bed, because and I like this journal, this Grant Cardone, the 10X journal. It's a cool layout for what we want to do. It has your schedule on the left, and it has places for goals and successes and all this type of stuff on the right. Check that out. You can Amazon, grantcardone.com, that type of thing is where you can find it. But we want to be reviewing our goals at night as well, because when we go to sleep, that's that all that good stuff is put into our brain, and that's what circulates through our subconscious. So if we can, we work all day, and then when we go to sleep, as opposed to maybe watching some Netflix show or that type of thing circulating through our subconscious at night, we'll have our goals circulating through our subconscious at night. So that sounds like a better idea, right? So that's a cool thing to do. Keep the carrot in front of the face. Next, how to stay motivated. Revisit your why statement on a weekly basis. So now this is what I do with my clients. When we get first started, we have a detailed why statement. In other words, why are we doing what we're doing? So, and that's it's different for everybody. For some people, it's family. Some people, it's themselves. It's their parents. It's their community. Whatever it is. But try to get detailed on this, and take some time. I mean, this is the whole idea is to figure out what drives you, what is your purpose, what is your passion, and that goes into your why statement, right? Because that is when times get tough, and we're going to get challenges, we're going to get curveballs, we'll have down days, down weeks, down months. We need to have easy access to what is driving us in the first place. So that's the why statement. So take some time to do that. Next step, how to stay motivated. Reward yourself, okay, when you hit your goals. And I recommend having short-term goals, 1 to 3 months, and then longer-term goals, 6 to 12 months. So when you hit those goals, and it doesn't all have to be revenue. It can be personal health. It could be family relationships. It could be in the practice, of course. But when you do hit those goals, reward yourself. And it doesn't have to be, some huge thing. You don't need to, buy a new car or, go buy a Rolex or whatever. The point being is, but we need to do something, because we want to condition our mind that we will have we'll find a happy place at the end of the road. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so it could be, you could go get a massage. You could get a pedicure. You could, allow yourself to go, if you like to read, go read for 2 hours with no interruptions, right? You could get out of town, go for a drive, whatever it is. Find something that is that makes you happy, right? And that's your reward. Now, if it could be buying a car, it could be going on vacation. I mean, of course, those are all, everything's relative, right, in terms of where we're at in life. But the point being is when we hit our goals, it's just like Pavlov's dogs, we need to reward ourselves. So from a conscious and a subconscious standpoint, our brain is thinking, I want more of this. Next. Don't be hard on yourself, man. I think a lot of us tend to beat ourselves up privately. Now, we're not going to go do this in public, but if we don't hit our goals in practice, or things are not going as well as we'd like at home, or whatever, we tend to be, and this is the default, by the way, for whatever reason, our brains tend to be more in a survival mode more often than not, and that's based on millions of years of just of conditioning. But the point being is, if we don't actively try to fight this, we'll tend to beat ourselves up more likely than we will to be giving ourselves pats on the back. And we should be giving ourselves pats on the back on a regular basis, right? I mean, if we are highly motivated, we're trying to provide for our family, we're trying to provide for our community, and we are here to serve, then just that in itself deserves a round of applause. Now, of course, we get compensated for this, but that's and that's fine, right? We have a service, we exchange value for that service. That value happens to be money. But regardless, don't be hard on yourself. If you catch yourself beating yourself up, you got to turn that around and then just take it easy on yourself. Next, don't feel rushed, right? They say, success or trying to hit goals is a marathon, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I heard someone else say it's not necessarily a marathon, but it's a series of sprints. Whatever. I mean, call it what the heck you want. The point being is, this is going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. Every overnight success you hear about, whether it's in the movies or sports or whatever, those people have been grinding for years and years and years. Typically it's 10 years. So just know that every day that you put wood on the proverbial fire, you're building a foundation, and you're building the basis for your success. Brick by brick, you are contributing to this ultimate end goal, or it may not be an end goal like you're going to get there and stop, but it's going to be, I want to get to X. Well, it's all going in that direction. And so it could be, those foundations or bricks of success, they can be marketing efforts. They could be, personal health things that you're doing so that you'll have the energy to, continue to push and fight and claw and achieve what you want to achieve. So it's, and I put this in here because I will feel this many times where I have this big to-do list and I'm trying to crush it every day. And sometimes you're just trying to go from one to one. And I have to remind myself, it's like, hey, just slow it down. This is, we don't need to feel rushed. What we do need to do is get the most important things accomplished. And then a lot of times they talk about doing, quote unquote, they talk about getting the hardest things done first. And that's not terrible advice, I would say. Next, read the right books and read them daily. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. Everything that we want to do in life has already been done by someone else, and they put it in a book. So, it's all about modeling, right? Tony Robbins says, we want to shrink decades into days. But read the right books. Robin Sharma is an excellent writer. He talks about, everything in terms of, personal development and success and achievement and all that type of stuff. But he is able to, he has this one book called the Little Black Book of Stunning Success, I believe is what it is. But in each chapter it's like a page or 2 pages or 3 pages, so you can read it in a minute or 2 minutes, which is great to get consistent with. If you can't carve out a half an hour or an hour to read a day, which by the way, all the most successful CEOs and wealthy people in the world read every single day. Bill Gates, couple hours, Warren Buffett, 8 hours a day, Mark Cuban's 3 hours a day. All these guys, like, that's what they do, is they read and they research and they put the knowledge into their head so that they can, improve their life in whatever way, whether it's business or health or whatever. But Robin Sharma, excellent kind of thought leader on personal development and all those types of things associated with that. John Maxwell, really, really good with leadership. Tony Robbins, obviously personal development. So, if you're not already, hey, get on Amazon and start ordering this stuff. I mean, goodness gracious, a book's $10 or $15. What a massive return on the investment that can be. Next, YouTube. What a phenomenal resource. Go to YouTube and search best motivational speeches. Whether and you don't need to go find the local influencer or the current influencer, Casey Neistat or whatever. Go to the greats. Let's talk about John F. Kennedy, Winston Churchill, Steve Jobs' commencement addresses, Steven Spielberg. It's like, let's hear from the guys that have absolutely crushed it in life, because these guys are frickin' pros. And so when you you can do this on a daily basis or whatever, or when you're just really, really feeling pulled down. But the resources are out there. They are free. Tap into them. TED Talks are also very, very good on tons of different topics. There's what's nice about TED Talks and TEDx, I think the local versions, is they limit them to, I believe, 20 minutes, and so it kind of makes people be more precise in their message. But regardless, dive into that, and I would make a list. Because you can get lost in the weeds a little bit. And you're like, oh, that looks good and that looks good. Well, in YouTube, if you don't already have an account or a channel, you can sign up. You need a Gmail account, because obviously YouTube's owned by Google. But the point being is, make a watch list, and there's a button that you can push that it will add to your watch list, or just write it down. If you see a great video that you don't have time for, write it down, because you will lose it. Because the webpage goes away. We tend to be a little sporadic when we're on the internet anyways, but write down a list of of the videos that you want to watch, and just start, like I said, carve out 20 minutes or 10 minutes a day or a couple times a week, to where you are putting great stuff into your head. Okay, that is it for this week of Dr. Vince Presents. This was How to Stay Motivated in Practice. Please subscribe. You will get a notification when new videos are up. Also, I got that free training, the five Practice Profit Accelerators. Go ahead and download that at chiropracticconsulting.co. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.